Hey guys, welcome back to a Teambuilder video for the Witchita Weaviles season in the PBO. And this week, it is week 5 and we are playing against the New York Nickits. Now, before we get into the good stuff here, as you can see, there is another Mon on the team at the top there. So, I do have a PSA, public service announcement. For week 5, so I guess during week 4, the Witchita Weaviles didn't make a free agent trade, okay? We got rid of, as you can see here, 4. We got rid of Houndoom in the PU tier for Ampharos. Now, you might be asking yourself, hey, why in the fuck did you give up your only fire type? Don't worry about it. We don't need fire types, okay? Fire types are for pussies. We don't need that shit, okay? Nah. Mostly I did it because I thought I would need Ampharos this week for week 5, and so I thought it would be the best course of action to try to find a PU mon that would help us take the hits we need to take. And we'll get there when we get to the Teambuilder. But Ampharos is here. It will probably be shiny every week because this shit kind of looks cool. But at least Ampharos has some, some coverage moves here and stuff, so don't worry about it. I'm pretty happy. Also, look at this in stats: 90 HP, 90 SPDF, 85 defense and shit. Like, it's not bad. 115 base is also obviously very good offensively, so I think as a premise, the only thing that's shit is its speed, and obviously its attack is not great, but I think it's perfectly fine for PUmon. But it is just a bulkier mon that I thought we needed for this week, the 5th week. And when I look at the future matchups and stuff, I don't see something where I'm like, wow, I really need Houndoom. Worst case scenario, I'll trade them back, I guess. I don't fucking know. But yeah, so that was my PSA. We now have Ampharos on the squad. Okay, so week 5, New York Nickits. You see the team on the, what is that, top right for you guys maybe? I don't fucking know. Let me just make sure I don't fuck it up. Sorry, I am... Okay, so here. They have Sneasler that can Terra... That is their Terra captain. Fighting and flying. Holy fuck, Sneasler's a menace, let me tell you. We'll get there though. They have Hisuian Braviary, respect Hisuian user. Rodamo, Klefki, Lycan Rock, Pyroar, Samurai Hisuian, another Hisuian mon. Tatsugiri, Spidops for Sticky Web. Sandaconda, and Gothitelle. No Shadow Tag on Gothitelle. Shadow Tag is banned, so Gothitelle's kind of a shitmon. IMO, in my opinion. So, we can see that team there. I'll make sure it's on your right corner, your top right there, the corner. So when I look at their team, when I look at Mr. New York Nickits here, I had to really cook some stuff up, I think. The cooking was real with this one, because I spent a lot of time on it, because apparently this guy is the season 1 champion. So you know what I'm saying? We gotta put on for the squad. We gotta be the best we can be, because we can't be shown up by the reigning champ. Okay, we gotta take the reigning champ down for sure. So I put in a lot of effort to this, and I hope our sets work out, because holy fuck, this was kind of a cancer to prep for it. So let's take a look at what we got, boys. So first things first, we needed a rapid spinner because he has Klefki. I'm a huge fan of Klefki in draft. I think it's good. I used it back in the day. And Klefki has wonderful priority spikes with Prankster. I needed something to get rid of spikes, because I do not want to play against fucking triple spike stack, try to switch into Sneasler. Oh my goodness, GG go next. We have to have hazard removal this game, and obviously bringing fucking Eviolite wannabe Hatter, whatever the fuck it is, Hattereem. That's what its name, Hattereem, not Hatterene. Too many hats. Right? So we can't bring that on because it's kind of bad. So we brought Brussel here, our Toad Scroll. Yeah, so I kind of struggle with this. I thought about bringing AV because AV lets me check Rotomo, like basically counter Rotomo, like Rotomo is just useless. And it lets me check Tatsugiri as well. But I found that I my team also struggles to deal with fucking Samurai Hosuian there, because of fucking its stab move. It's a stab move, so Ceaseless Edge and Aqua Cutter, with being boosted by sharpness, I should say. It is super hard to switch into. It's just not fun to switch into at all. Um, and so instead, I decided to run a much more physically defensive variant with speed. So this is enough speed to outspeed um, all of his base 85s and base 90s and stuff, and that's fine. The big thing about this mon here is this spread is that it outspeeds Samurai. And Leaf Storm one-shot Samurai with no investment, so that's why we have it. In addition to the fact that Leaf Storm just does a lot of damage to things in general, it's just a very high base power move, so it's not going to be bad to click. We also are rocking Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, and Rapid Spin. Again, we need Rapid Spin in this game. Main reason why Brussels here is coming our Toad Scroll. That's also why we have Heavy Duty Boots, because Heavy Duty Boots is going to let us switch in on what I'm going to assume is going to be Spike's Klefki. So, yeah, that's why you have Boots. It's physically defensive again, so I can take 2 Samurott Ceaseless Edges, which is super important for the cow because we outspeed and stuff. Also, this gives me basically a counter to Sandaconda. This mon abuses Sandaconda really effectively, because what happens is if he brings Sandaconda, which is his like best physically defensive mon, to try to counter something like a physical Enamorous, or even like a banded what is it called, Baxcalibur. This was a method to these are things I think you could bring because of how physically defensive Sandaconda can be, and he's used physically defensive Sandaconda quite a bit this season already. So I thought if I bring a mon that can just switch in on spikes, take no damage because of boots, and just sit on Sandaconda, then I can always spin on Sandaconda. And if I can always spin on Sandaconda, because Sandaconda also tends to be his rocker, it means that we can keep hazards off the field, which I think is super important. So that's really good. We have Sludge Bomb here because we don't want Rotom to fucking sub nasty plot on us. So this obviously always breaks Rotom sub. This also, even though I'm not EV and especially defensive, it can always take it. I think like Leaf Storm from Rotom does like 46 or 48% if it's like offensive max. So that's okay as well, because it means that this is a check to Scuff Rotom, and it beats like max HP like sub Rotom and like not Specs Rotom. I mean not Scuff Rotom. I don't know about Specs Rotom, but surely Specs Rotom is not coming, right? Smiley face. Yeah, so this is what this is, right? This is one of our ground types we're bringing to stop the Volt Switch from Rotom. It's a spinner. It kind of covers everything, and it knocks out Hisuian Samurai very effectively with Leaf Storm. Also, I think paired with Juvia here, she's back once again. Truly a 1v9 machine, the GOAT mon for sure. She's gonna help boost Brussels longevity here, because we're going to be Wish passing again. So we are rocking Baton Pass, Protect, Wish, Hyper Voice. Boom. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Hey, where is your Water Stab? And I would respond to you with, if you look at his team, the Water Stab only hits Pyro and Lycan Rock, so fuck him. I don't need it. Is basically where I'm at. Yeah, I mean, Water Stab is obviously good because it's stab and it does damage, but Hyper Voice hits everything else much more neutrally, and I like that a lot better. Also helps against like sub mons and stuff. If he wants to win like sub Hisuian Samurai or sub Rotom, it just obviously bypasses that. Does some chip damage, always going to be good. This mon is physically defensive, as you can see this week, because this mon actually takes pretty low damage from sharpness boosted ceaseless edge. I think I was running life orb calcs on this when I was building, because I think life orb is about as mid groundy as it gets. If it's like choice band or something, we're gonna clearly see by the damage, and then we can like pivot into our fairy type, or we can pivot into something else. But also if it's choice band, it's like we have protect and stuff, we can stall as well. So if it's choice band, we can go from there. I think it probably should be black glasses or life orb. I just kept life orb because that's the most damage, and it just takes ceaseless edge hits really well. Obviously ceaseless edge does get spikes up, so that's another reason why we have boots on Brussels to help us out with that. And obviously he can't go for water moves and stuff because water absorb on Juvia here is really strong. And Grass Knot, which would be the thing that he would want to use to hit me, because that's like the best coverage move he has, is only 80 base power. And obviously with my natural HP and Spadef, like it just does no damage. So in theory, I can sit in on this thing, Hyper Voice for like 30%, Wish, and then Baton Pass, you know, get the slow initiative out, Wish pass into something, try to get some momentum going. It's kind of what I'm thinking. This also naturally checks like Tatsugiri. That's another reason why I have Hyper Voice, because it does way more damage obviously than the quad resisted water stab, so that's why it can check Tatsugiri. If it's like AV Tatsugiri, then it's like something to think about, but then it's not nasty plotting on me, so I'm okay about that. If it's specs, then again this is a check, and then we can try to navigate specs later down the line as well. And this also is a check to Sandaconda, because Sandaconda does no damage to this then, so something to think about. Obviously, oh, this also always beats Pyroid as well if it's like not specs. If it's specs though, it's gonna take some wish protect action, but there's only 16 PP on Hyper Voice, and that's the best thing they can hit me with, so I can just like wish protect and stall it out. If it's not specs, then I beat it 1v1 even without water stab, so I feel pretty okay about that as well. Yep. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. This is the Vaporeon spread, the Juvia spread for this week's battle. It's weird to not run water coverage, but I think having neutral damage flat 30%, 25 to 30% on anything in the game, like I feel like is super valuable. Then we get to our last defensive mob. Well, yeah, I mean, not really our last, I guess our second defensive mon, because this guy's more support. We get back to lean, baby. We're leaning it back. This guy is our Sneasler switching, okay? He is the answer to all of our Sneasler problems, which is not really true, because Sneasler is kind of an insane mon. So, let's talk about Sneasler, because I've been thinking about Sneasler for a minute. So, Sneasler has 130 attack, close combat stab, and its signature move, Dire Claw. Okay. Close combats, again, not a big deal for fucking Quagsire. We eat this shit up. You know, it does less than 50%, run leftovers, it's fine, right? Like, it's not a big deal. It truly is not a big deal. But then, you run into Dire Claw. In Dire Claw, you might ask yourself, hey, what is this? I didn't play Pokemon Arceus in-game. Hey, yes you kid. This is what Dire Claw does. And it's cancer. So here. Dire Claw, 80 base power poison type move. Awesome, great. I resist it, right? Surely. 50% chance, okay? That's the fucking secondary effect. 50%, that's the percent. 50. 5-0. 50. I'm pissed. 50% to either poison, paralyze, or sleep. You have a 50-50 chance. That's like missing Inferno. Bro, everyone misses Inferno. Ain't nobody be hitting Inferno. So, you have a 50% chance to get one out of the 3 statuses. If it paralyzes you, you might not be able to move. If you sleep, you can't move, and if it poisons you, you just take residual damage, which is important because if he poisons me, it is regular poison, not toxic. It cancels out leftovers, and then I kind of just die to the shit. It's awful, absolutely. Like it's unfathomable what the fuck this mon is. So this week we have to run Covert Cloak, because then Direclaw cannot poison, put me to sleep, or paralyze me. Not to mention, this guy technically can just run Poison Touch on his Mon, on Sneasler, and just poison me 30% anyway. But 30% is better than the fucking 51% or whatever the fuck, whatever the math is, to, you know, to poison me with Direclaw. So, that's why we have Covert Cloak. It does kind of fucking suck, because it's not lefties, so our longevity is kind of shite, and that's kind of why we have Wish support trying to help us out. The nice thing about this is that Quagsire can just sit on Klefki. It really can. Like, and when I say sit on Klefki, I mean like it can switch into Klefki and just recover, and abuse Klefki for a recover turn is what can happen, and that's really important, right? That's very good. Yeah, that's important. So sorry, I was just thinking about, I went through a lot of iterations of Quagsire. Like I had Brick Break Quagsire to stop screens from Klefki, because I think screens plus Sneasler, SD Sneasler, smokes my pack. And when I say that, I really mean is my Ice and Rock Move or whatever the fuck I was running on Quagsire to do damage to Sneasler takes no damage, and so he'll kill me in a couple of rotations. We do have Unaware, so SD is not going to obviously kill Quag, but the idea is that, like, because of screens, I can't do enough damage back for him to feel pressured. So if he gets right, so that was my problem. That is resolved because of counter. So this is why we're running counter this week, because we're running Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Recover, counter. Counter helps us deal with Sneasler, because for some fucking reason, this Mon, fucking Sneasler, gets this move. Oh, you can't even see it, sorry. Gets this move, fucking Trailblaze. Somehow Quagsire gets it too, but whatever. So the point is that he does get grass coverage, right? Base 50, you know, quad resist is quad resist. I mean, sorry, what the fuck resist? Quad super effective is quad effective, right? It always is gonna, so it's gonna do some damage. It does do more damage than CC by a little bit. Excuse me, I like coughed and died there. It does do more than CC by a little bit, but it does like 45% min and stuff. I've done the math, obviously, with this crazy good HP stat. Counter at 45 is like 177. 177 times 2 is over 300 HP, which is more than what Sneasler has. So counter will always kill Sneasler if we don't get unlucky on a 2 KO. Because that's the thing. Because we have to run Covert Cloak, Trailblaze has a like 35% chance, 37% chance to 2 KO me. So in theory, I can get 2 tapped and game's over. It's in my favor to live, so we're gonna try to leverage that. But something to think about. This is our Sneasler answer defensively, because it's hard to switch into. Not to mention this thing gets U-turn and all this other stuff. But this is why, like, we tried to fit rocks in on this team, because if it has U-turn and stuff, like any passive chip damage is good, obviously. So yeah, this is our Sneasler boy answer. Again, this mon can sit in on Klefki. It can just set up rocks, recover, use that as turns. It also can sit on Sandaconda, because the fuck is Sandaconda gonna do? Oh, we're gonna body press you. Like, that's not the play, chief. So yeah, another thing this mon actually does well is beats Lichen Rock. As you can see there, he has just the normal Lichen Rock, not Dusk or Midnight. And that forms a slight sand core with Sandaconda sand spit. So this also beats that in every which way. So that's pretty good as well. So yeah, I think this should be. I hope this set works out, because if not, we just lose to Sneasler and it's GG. Go next. So now that you've seen kind of our two defensive mons, you know, physical. The question is, how do we switch in? Well, the question I asked really was, how the fuck do I switch in to Braviary Hisuian? Because this thing gets a Life Orb, Sheer Force Hurricane, Life Orb, Sheer Cold, what the fuck, Sheer Force, Life Orb, Sheer Force, Psychic, Heat Wave, and he could just run Agility or Calm Mind and completely cook my whole team. So what is happening is the question that I asked. And this is where our newest member of the squad came into play. We thought about, hey, maybe we pick Cockle, because the signature move for Braviary, Hisuian Braviary, is Esperine. And Esperine raises your speed 1 tier. So I thought Cockle would be cool because he resists everything. But Cockle takes fucking hazards because he can't run boots and he has to run this. So instead we went with Ampharos Black Cherry, baby, because it looks like black cherry ice cream. If you know, you know. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. There is more physical moves on my Ampharos than there is special. So let's talk about Ampharos. I think this mon's going to do extremely well this battle. I sure as hell hope so. So let's talk about the EVs first. So this mon's main goal, main function, main job is to stop Braviary from potentially just mass wall breaking my team and or setting up in 6-0 me. Because that could really be a thing. Like if he brought agility 3 attacks with like Life Orb Sheer Force, I could lose. Or if he's like Calm Mind agility, you know, if he's Double Dance, could lose as well. So this is what we've done. We went AV on Ampharos here. Volt Switch, Fire Punch, Brick Break, Dragon Tail. Max HP. Well, almost max HP, 248, but it's really max HP. Loki. Oh, thank you. Apparently my PC wants an update. Sorry. Basically max HP, 92 defense, with a relaxed nature, and 168 SPDF with an AV, like we said. Okay. This Mon switches into Life Orb, Sheer Force, Psychics, Esperines, Hurricanes, everything. Well, like it eats it up. Like it is doing like it can't do a KO kind of thing. Like really good. The relaxed nature. Yes, it has to be relaxed. It cannot be calm nature. It can't be minus attack because we'll get there. Let's us take 2 Life Orb, max special attack, Side Shocks from Hisuian Braviary as well. Because that's the only way this thing could lose, was if I went super hard on SPDF and then it hits me with Side Shock. So this Mon beats Hisuian Braviary all the like it just counters it. That's the idea behind this Mon. Now let's talk about the moves. So we have Volt Switch, very simple, right? It's initiative, it's good. It does like 64 to like 75 to Hisuian Braviary. It doesn't kill it one tap, but if, for example, if it is Life Orb like I've calced and am concerned for, it hopefully will take Stealth Rocks, right? Boom, take Stealth Rocks. If that's the case, then I will just Dragon Tail it out. Boom, it's in range next time it comes in on Stealth Rocks, for example, right? Initiative on Volt Switch is always good. Then we have Brick Break, because Brick Break will help us break screens. Because again, if he brings screens, Double Dance or something, I want to be able to manage it. This is another Mon that just switches in on Clef Key, Boss Spikes, and I can just spam Brick Break, spam Brick Break, spam Brick Break, spam Brick Break, and break over screens, and then slow you Volt Switch out, so I always have initiative, right? Again, if he goes into his ground type, something like Sandaconda, I just go to Toad Scroll, not a big deal. We start spamming Giga Drain. We try to play the game out. Okay? We have Dragon Tail, so stuff like Nasty Plot Tatsugiri and boosting Hisuian Braviary cannot set up on us. And finally, we have Fire Punch. Very weird move to run on Ampharos. And for a long time I thought it should be Ice Punch, because I thought Ice Punch was like, oh, like it's gonna do the main in the beginning, the main reason for running Fire Punch was so I could break Rotomo's potential sub. Because I was super concerned about sub Nasty Plot Leaf Storm electric move on Rotomo. Because Rotomo has a really pretty good defensive typing, really good offensive moves and typing to deal with my team. So I was like, oh, I don't want that to happen. And turns out, max HP Rotom takes 25% min from just a elemental punch from Ampharos. So that's really good. I thought about running Ice Punch, because Ice Punch would hit Rotom still very effectively. And it hits Sandaconda for super effective damage, so you know that can't be bad. And for some fucking reason, Signal Beam, the bug type move, does not exist in this gen, which is insane to me because that's basically Ampharos' special move. I mean special move, not special move, signature move, like, you know what I mean? So I was like super hyped to use in-game move Ampharos, and then it was not, so very sad, but happens. Instead though, we didn't swap it to Ice Punch. We have Fire Punch for one more reason, which I think is infinitely better than Hidden Sandaconda, or, you know, playing for 10% freezes. And it's Klefki. It's another Mon that just sits in on Klefki. Yeah, it breaks screens, that's awesome. And if it is Calm Mind Klefki, like Calm Mind Magnetize, because I'm pretty sure he's putting Magnetize Klefki, because why wouldn't you against Baxcalibur? If he does this, Fire Punch always beats it. Like, if he gets the +6, I'll just start spamming Fire Punch. It does enough damage to, like, be a fort KO or something. And if he's leftovers, then, like, other mons on leftovers on his team, and that's pretty good. So, Fire Punch actually lets me beat Calm Mind setup Klefki, which is super cool. So, I'm super excited to use the set. This is for sure the set to watch. Hopefully, it goes well. I guess one more thing also, I know I'll be talking about Life Orb a lot, like Life Orb on Braviary, Life Orb on Hisuian Samurott, but only one mon can be Life Orbed because of the item clause in the PBO in this league. So only one can be Life Orb, and that should be pretty easy to tell based off of damage. And so it should be, like, in theory, it's harder to switch into things, because I'm like, oh, like, what if this is Life Orb? But, like, only one can be Life Orb, so it's going to be practically, I think, easier to switch into those mons specifically. Sneasel not so much, because Sneasel is unbelievably hard to switch into, but that's fine. Then we move on to Hate Fuck for this week, because, you know, comes every week, truly puts in the work. And we are running Standard, Scarf, and Amorous. Standard as in, like, simple, not, like, oh, you see Scarf and Amorous all the time. Moonblast, Mystical Fire, Psychic, and Healing Wish. We're running Cute Charm, mostly because there's no fucking reason not to, because I don't think he has, like, some crazy, like, stat drop strategy. And I think, like, if I switch in this thing on, like, a CC or something, like, and if I can Cute Charm it, could be cool. So his team struggles with switching into fucking Moonblast, with the exception of Klefki. But I really truly believe Klefki is physically defensive this game, or should be physically defensive this game, because I have a Baxcalibur, which we'll get to after this mon, right? So that's the only mon in the game that can take dual stab from Baxcalibur and walk it off relatively well. So it has to be physically defensive, in my opinion. And Scarf Moonblast just cooks his whole team after that. And again, I'm putting Mystical Fire. If I want to make the read, I'll make the read, do 60% with Mystical Fire. Like, it's not going to... That's a very big option. And then we have Psychic. Psychic is going to help me hit Sneasler, like that's the big one. It helps me hit Sneasler. It helps me hit. It's just a strong like neutral move with the exception of what is it called? Samurai Hisuian. Uh, Again, you look at this, it's like not a lot of things we're gonna need, right? And that's fine. Hyper Beam, baby. So it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. So Psychic is just a nice move. It just hits neutrally. Like it's not a big deal. And then we have Healing Wish because, as you can see, like our backbone / support mons here are all they have to check a lot of things. They have to do a lot of things. So I feel like they're gonna get low if we need to sack off my mon late game so we can heal one back up to like bring home the medal, like bring home the W. Then this is the way to do it. Also, Healing Wish is always good. Like we kind of just looked at here. Like there's no great what is it called? There's no great coverage like outside of fire and Moonblast here. So I think Healing Wish is just good support. And I think it also enables Baxcalibur as well. Speaking of Baxcalibur, here he is for the week. No Dragon Stab Baxcalibur. Crazy. Crazy. If I could be Terra Ice this week, I would be. I think. Would I? I don't know. Maybe. But it would be nice if Icicle Spear rolls. Okay. So this week, I kind of thought about being Bandit Baxcalibur again. Because I thought that would be a good way to beat Sneasler. Because it's frail and I'm trying to use priority to run over it, basically. But that wasn't really working out for me. So instead I decided to bring a much more standard DD set, sub DD set again. But this week, there's no Glaive Rush. As again, if you look at his team, with the exception of Klefki, Glaive Rush does look like it just claims a kill every single time. And I would have to say you are correct, young smart viewer. Don't forget to like and subscribe because, you know, this is where all the smart people are. But I would also make the argument that +1 Icicle Spear does the same thing, which it does. And Loaded Dice is going to help us with that, obviously. Make sure you hit 4 to 5 times. If I get the +1, I literally kill everything in the game with Icicle Spear. The only thing that lives is Samurai Hisuian. But if I get the +2 with it, +2 EQ does 88 min. So that's very easy damage to get down. Again, these conditions are pretty easy to meet when, you know, Hyper Voice of Vaporeon is doing 30%, and we have like Leaf Storm just to take it out in general and stuff. So we just need damage on Samurai Hisuian, and +1 Baxcalibur, like low effort Baxcalibur, +1, not hard to do, comes in and like just sweeps the game. It is an crazy strong mon this week. Ice Stab is super good against this team. Ice ground coverage beats everything. And then we have sub. Finally we have sub, because sub is actually going to let me sub up on a couple things. So one, it lets me potentially sub up on Sandaconda, because Sandaconda tends to run like rocks, EQ, body press, and Glare. So on Glare I can sub up on it, and then I can DD, and then I'll probably Terra Dragon in DD, hopefully body presses, and then we're kind of cooking. And it also helps me set up on Rotom if it is not choiced Rotom, because my Mon is actually faster than Rotom by 1 point with this speed investment. And this is what happens, is because of my wonderful ability, Thermal Exchange, I cannot be burnt. So the only thing Rotom can do to my Mon is Thunder Wave. So I just sub on Rotom, then DD, and then it's very easy to get the +2 and I win the game. A +1, I do basically kill everything like we said, and it is very easy to get the +1 without using sub. I just Terra into a Dragon type defensively, so we remove our fighting weakness, and our rock weakness, we remove that. Then I DD, so and then I can like kind of win. And this applies to things like Lycanroc, Sneasler, even Sandaconda as well. Sorry, I'm omega distracted. That one's on me. So that one's on me. Sorry, but yeah. So like all the fighting type coverage he has and rock type coverage and stuff like does not matter because I can basically just DD up in its face after I Terra to be pure dragon, and then I can just kill everything with Icicle Spear. I do have to be aware of something like Sandrush, Lycanroc, Revenge killing me maybe or something. But again, it is going to be that much more harder to Revenge kill me because I don't have Glaive Rush, so I won't take double damage after I knock something out kind of thing, right? So that's very good. But again, we have sub, so we can set up on most likely Rotom. Alternatively, I don't fucking know. We run fucking Tackle for maximum BM or something. Actually, you probably just run like Thunder Fan or something. Or like Brick Break myself or something and like try to navigate that. But as a premise, I think this set's pretty good. I hope I get to set up on Rotom with it because I think Rotom, especially if it ends up being like Scuff, T-Wave or something, which I will have to account for. But that's why we have stuff like Brussel and Black Cherry here. That's another thing. This one, because it's AV, does check Rotom pretty effectively, just in general. So, that's the team we're rocking with for week 5 of the PBO of the Witchita Weaviles. And yeah, should be an exciting battle. We do play it a little today, but don't worry about that. Things to watch out for in the battle. No satanic doubles like before, obviously. And make sure to pay attention to how much work the debut of Ampharos, aka Black Cherry, puts in. And pray that I don't get hacked to death and I get to set up with Baxcalibur for fun. And Sneasler doesn't fucking get crazy stupid rolls on me. So, you know, think about that. Tune in for the game. And with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video and look forward to more PBO content. And with that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the battle when I post it. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.